We've got some more action in our NBA 2K24 draft-only franchise as we have two top 3 picks facing off today. Sidney Lowry, of course, for our team, and Lynn Montgomery, the number 3 overall pick of the Houston Rockets. Worth noting that Bruce Brown is injured and out of this game, and starting in his place is Moses Moody. Let's get into this game as Jaden Hardy gets the first bucket for us. Cam Whitmore to the lane, but nice defense by Sidney Lowry to force the miss. Pick and pop here. Late in the shot clock, Jalen Johnson forced to put up a tough shot, which rims out. Passing the ball around the horn. Rockets find a good shot for Jalen Green. He splashes home the deep ball. Trying to force it inside, gets tipped, but ultimately lands in the hands of A.C. Stevens, who banks it home. Green with the ball once again. Finds Cam Whitmore, who misses the 3. So Cam Whitmore is starting for this team at the 3 over Lynn Montgomery. I know Lynn Montgomery is a natural 4, as Stevens gets the ball stripped on that double team. I'd still like to see maybe a Jabari and Lynn Montgomery, forward tandem. Eventually, I'm fine with them starting Cam Whitmore, though. I'm not going to try to force them to do anything. I don't even know if I can force them to change their lineup, if I'm honest. I know you could force non-starter, which we could do for Cam Whitmore, but I don't even know if that would bring in Lynn Montgomery anyway. And as you'll see later in this game, they're giving Lynn Montgomery a pretty substantial role, even if he is coming off the bench. So I think that's fine. Jaden Hardy gets another bucket here. He is off to a pretty hot start in this game, averaging 16.5 on the season so far. That's a decent look for Jalen Green, but he is too strong on that shot. Johnson pulls up from deep. Too strong on it. Other way, Cam Whitmore running some pick and pop with Jabari Smith. That's a good look, but he missed it. Rockets starting pretty cold here from the field, despite getting some decent looks for some pretty good shooters. Sidney Lowry pulls up from mid-range. He can't hit. Jalen Green driving to the rim and slams it home. Just gets by Sidney Lowry there on the drive. Very athletic man is Jalen Green. Moses Moody pulling up from the mid-range and hits that. That's a very smooth stroke from Moses Moody. That's good defense from Jaden Hardy, forcing the miss on the layup from Fred VanVleet. Has the ball now. He's pulling up from deep and it hits it. Hot scoring start for Jaden Hardy in this game. Landale driving it in. He hits the shot. Tough shot to make over the outstretched arm of A.C. Stevens. A.C. Stevens answers him right back, though, on the other end. Green has space from deep again, and now he's starting to heat up. Just needed a couple of drives, and now outside shots falling for him. Getting it quickly inside to Stevens again, and he hits another shot. Lead is 17-10 for the Nashville Sound as Jalen Green rims that one out. Just missed it, but we just give it right back to him. He's got another shot and missed it again. Hardy went inside on Green. Forced to pass it late to Sidney Lowry, but he hits the shot as the shot clock was winding down. VanVleet gets the Tari Eason screen, almost shoots it, instead finds Tari Eason. Can't drill the long ball. Stevens is doubled once again and missed it, but he gets his own board, finds a wide open shot for Jaden Hardy, but we go 0 for 2 in the possession. Liked both of those looks, though. Imagine, those go in more often than not. Thompson on the other end misses the corner 3. Livingston in the game. Trying to throw a lob into Hardy, who had 3 Rockets around him. That's a pretty terrible decision. VanVleet hits the layup on him on the other end. Rough sequence there for Devin Livingston, who has had a rough start to the season, and honestly, if he has another bad game today, we might be putting in Wilson Fisher as our backup point guard. But Jaden Hardy continues his hot start, hitting another deep ball, and this time Livingston just has it picked right in front of him by Van Vliet, who gets the assist in transition to Amen Thompson. Livingston finds an open Hardy again, and again he hits. He's been on fire here in this first quarter. Pretty much the main reason we have a lead, and that's a nice block by Stevens, but he's hurt. Clutching that knee. Stevens not looking so good there. We'll have to check on him and see if he can come back in this game. But for now, we got Chucky Booker, who comes in and instantly makes the layup on the pick and roll. Green, pick and roll here with Lynn Montgomery, and that's the first time we've called his name today. Playing with that second unit, draws himself an and one off of the Patrick Baldwin foul. The free throw is up and in. Livingston, wide open, decides to dribble and wait for the defense to come and contest his shot, and he missed it. Just, brother, take the open catch and shoot. Trust me, it's easier to make it open than it is guarded, but either way, we have a 10-point lead here after one. Team played well. Although Houston missed, I'd say, a lot of easy shots. I don't think we're going to be able to hold them to 17 if we play the same caliber of defense as Lowry banks it home to start the quarter. Jalen Green makes the mid-range pull-up shot of his own. Livingston tries to hit Lowry. Man, this guy has been awful. And then the transition three by the Rockets. Lowry. Trying to find something, but Amen Thompson has been playing some great defense. We'll eventually get a Livingston three. And of course he missed it because this dude can't seem to do anything right. This time the oop though does get through. Not stolen, and Lowry, acrobatic finish. Step back three for KPJ is off. Mismatch in the post for Chucky Booker. Rockets send some help, but it doesn't matter as Booker turns around and banks it. Jalen Green, that's a tough finish over Zaire Williams. Thought he played pretty good defense that possession, but it won't matter. This time we're feeding Patrick Baldwin in the post. Going against Lynn Montgomery. I don't know if that's really a matchup we have the advantage on. Lynn Montgomery was all over him, but Patrick Baldwin finishes it anyway. Green, that's too much space. He drills the three on top of the arc. And then Johnson. We are going after Lynn Montgomery. This dude is not a bad defender. Why are we going after him? Somehow it's worked both times, so I mean... But Lynn Montgomery is known for his defense. I don't know if he's the guy we want to be targeting. I feel like there's much easier targets out there. But again, we've done it two possessions and it's worked both times, so I can't complain too much about it. As Jalen Johnson goes 2 for 2 from the free throw stripe. Jalen Green. He is defended by Moses Moody. Pretty good defense, but allowed him to get too close to the basket there. Sidney Lowry missed the layup, but he got his own board and puts it in over the outstretched arm of Jabari Smith Jr. Green totally shook Moses Moody there. Nice half spin. Lowry. Guarded by Montgomery. This is the matchup you want to see, and Montgomery forces the miss. Montgomery now passing here to Jalen Green, but the good defense forced the point-blank miss. Moody forced to put up a tough shot, and that's no good. AC Stevens with the loose ball foul. Amen Thompson on the drive will get himself a pair of free throws here. First one is off. Second free throw for Amen is off as well. He goes 0 for 2. Moody drives it inside, tries to hit AC Stevens, but it was stolen by the Rockets. AC Stevens with it once again. Nice move, and he gets the and one opportunity off of it. Of course, he's back in the game with his injury, so it doesn't look like it's too serious of an injury, which is good luck for us because he's been maybe our best player here now through kind of 2 1/3 episodes of gameplay. That is a beautiful drive. What a screen to free up Zaire Williams for the flush. The two-hander. Cocked it back behind his head. And some style points to get us to 43-35 here. Fred VanVleet on the other end, though. Gonna get some style points of his own with the and one opportunity for the veteran point guard. And it is good. Jalen Johnson, that is blocked as he tries to hit a free throw line. Sorry, a mid-range jumper off of the screen, and Jabari. Nice sequence for him. Baldwin in the post again, and again he hits. Been doing it over a couple of really good defenders. Amen Thompson and Lynn Montgomery, not easy defenders to win against in the post. Baldwin. That's a Stevens 3. Don't want that to be taken too often. Thankfully for us, it has not been. I think is that the first time I've seen him take a 3? Maybe the second, I can't remember. Definitely not something we see a ton of, though, as Hardy misses the leaner. VanVleet has space from deep. He's too strong on the shot. Pick and roll with Hardy and Stevens. That is just off the mark. Hardy cooling down a little bit here in the second quarter. Bank shot for Fred VanVleet makes this a one-possession game. That is plenty of space for Hardy. Can he get back on track with that shot? Yes, he can. He had all the space he needed there to get a clear shot. At the basket as Amen Thompson slithers to the basket for 2. Moses Moody, maybe a little bit bailed out by the call there from Amen Thompson. He was all over him, but it did look like a foul there at the end. Missed the first free throw, though. Can he avoid 0 for 2? Yes, he can. Jalen Green on the drive. Somehow fits that into Landell through the defense. He finishes it off. Moody into the paint. Dishes to Stevens, and he draws another foul, but free throws have been an issue, and with him being injured, I don't think that's going to help very much as he misses the first. 8 points, 4 rebounds here for him as we near halftime. Gets the second one in, and we have a 4-point lead, but not for long as Jabari Smith Jr. splashes in that top of the arc 3-ball. Found Moody on a cutter, but he decided not to shoot. Goes for the fadeaway, but to put too much on it. Rockets the other way. Almost got that one stolen. Green eventually puts up the shot as the clock expires, but he cannot hit it. So we've got a 1-point lead. Not a great second quarter. I don't think it was particularly terrible, but of course going from a 10-point lead to a 1-point lead is not great. Let's get into now the second half. AC Stevens. Turnaround hook shot, no good. I feel like his ability to hit the contested shots since the injury has definitely gone down a little bit. But a nice forced miss from Johnson there. Lowry, that is in. The little scoop layup with the foul from Fred VanVleet. He's talking to the refs, but that was an obvious foul. I don't know what he's talking to the refs about there. Whitmore, that's a tough shot. Is no good. Moody with it. Back to Lowry, pulling it on top of the arc. Missed that one. Inside to Whitmore, almost stole it. But instead he's wide open for the layup. Game remains close here. We got Jaden Hardy, a wide open 3, and he has been on it tonight. Pretty much all of his open shots going in, and when he gets the more contested ones, he hasn't been as good, but when he gets the open ones, he's been hitting them. So we just got to work on getting him more open shots. Stevens, nice move in the post. Getting the leverage there on the drop step. VanVleet gets to the rim, draws the foul on Hardy, and has the 3-point play opportunity. Veteran play from Fred VanVleet as he finishes that 3-point play. Kick to Stevens and missed that one. That's what I'm talking about. These more contested shots that I feel like, I mean, you obviously don't expect him to shoot 100% at all, but I feel like he was making them a little bit more often pre-injury, and so the injury I think is really affecting him there. As a nice spin move from Sidney Lowry gets his second and one opportunity here of the third quarter already. Up to 14 points on 10 shots in this game. Now make that 15 points on 10 shots. Jalen Green going to work on Lowry. Lowry playing some really good defense, and he forces the miss. As much as we focus on, Lowry offensively, that was his best skill set coming into the league. And so nice to see him show it off there. Wide open corner three for Jalen Johnson. He has not had his best game today. Has had several shots and just can't seem to find the bottom of the bucket on any of them. Neither could Lundell on that wide open shot. We're going the other way. Hardy dishes to Lowry. Missed the dunk on the cut. He had it. Just couldn't finish the play. And a tough finish by Jalen Green on the other end with Lowry defending. I thought that was really good defense as well. Hardy, that pull-up shot from the corner mid-range. Drops for him. Lowry, he had a wide open lane to the bucket and he pulled up and he missed. What is up with people pulling up when they have open lanes to the basket? Can we not, please? Johnson with the steal. Hardy. Inside to Lowry, back to Hardy. He's going to try to go inside on Fred VanVleet and gets hacked. But he misses the first free throw, man. We miss way too many free throws, bro. These people have decent free throw ratings, good free throw ratings. I feel like they shoot lower than they should in these spotlight games. Stolen again by Jalen Johnson. Can't do anything offensively, but he's at least made some nice defensive plays. As Moody misses the mid-ranger on the other end. Quick shot by Jalen Green, also off the mark. Lowry feeds it inside to AC Stevens, wide open lane to the bucket, and he slams it in. That's a tough finish there by Cam Whitmore going inside on Moses Moody. Got a little bit of a strength advantage there, I'd say. And it was, his profile coming into the draft was his ability to finish with strength through contact, and showing it here a couple of times. And a nice bounce pass by Hardy. Gets Stevens the wide open dunk. Excuse me there. And Zaire Williams with the steal and the double pump dunk. That's his second highlight dunk here of this game. Making some plays. Jabari, that's a pure shot from the corner. That shot just looks so smooth. Johnson once again misses from three, man. I feel like he's usually not this bad from three. I know his ratings aren't great, but my goodness, he is missing a ton of wide open shots tonight. Houston's within one. Johnson shooting again, missing again. He's really been a big part of our scoring troubles here in the third, and now Houston takes the lead. Jabari Smith heating up from deep. Almost a sick pass from Moody, but it gets picked off. And in transition, Lynn Montgomery starting to show up for the Rockets here a little bit in the third. Offensively, Livingston gets a Chucky Booker screen. Pulls up from the mid-range. I think his shot looks good. It just never goes in. He gets another chance and missed it again. Booker has a mismatch in the post. Goes to the corner. Another wide open three and another miss. We have a bunch of guys who don't have great three-point ratings taking really open threes that I don't mind, but ratings really come into play here at the end of the third, where we just had too many guys with these C three-pointers just missing really good looks. APJ stops and pops from the mid-range. He's off the mark. Jalen Green decides to shoot it. He had Lynn Montgomery wide open in the corner. Glad he missed that read. Chucky Booker on the roll. Gets fouled. Just cannot quite finish it. Very close. Wonky little free throw motion for him is good on the first. And no on the second. We're 6 for 10 from the free throw line now, which is annoying. Lynn Montgomery just out-muscles Zaire Williams to the basket there. Houston leads by 5. Going to Lynn Montgomery again. I don't know how that dribble wasn't out of bounds, but that was a beautiful pass to Londell. Wow. A couple of really nice plays here in a row from Lynn Montgomery. I feel like he's been much more impactful this second half than he was in the first. Off the mark there. Lowry looked like he was trying to draw a foul there on the follow-through. Stevens cleaned it up for him, though. Pick and roll, Livingston and Stevens. We find Stevens on the roll. Favoring that hip on his return trip. Montgomery for 3. Couldn't hit that one. Lowry trying to sauce everybody up. Find some space from the mid-range, and it's no good again. Green to the basket, and the layup falls for him. A nice pick. Gave him enough room to get past Sidney Lowry. Pick and roll, Lowry and Stevens. The dish to Stevens. It just got stolen from him there. Houston the other way with Jalen Green. Spinning is Green. Missing the shot, but couldn't get the defense there on the rebound, but we eventually get the stop. Baldwin, no good on that three-point attempt. Offense in the second half has been quite poor. We're nearing the midway point of the fourth, and we've scored 25 points in the half. Baldwin, need this one, and he hits it. All right, back within 1 score. Montgomery. Baldwin defending, steps back and misses it. Livingston on the boards. Pushing ahead to Lowry. That is not a good shot. Lowry is ice cold here in the fourth. After a pretty solid third as well. Jalen Green off glass. Gives Houston back their 5-point lead. Baldwin for 3 again. Couldn't hit the shot, but he was fouled. First free throw for him falls. Second free throw up and down. And he go 3 for 3. No, too strong on the third one. That's not the one you want to miss because you give a transition opportunity, which the Rockets are taking advantage of. Whitmore just totally got already jumping there. Missed the shot, but grabbed his own board. Houston leads by 5. Hardy doubled. Find the wide open man. Baldwin for 3 has been good for us this quarter, and it continues to be so. That's our offense is Baldwin taking 3-pointers right now in the fourth. Fred Van Vliet's off the mark. Jalen Johnson on the board. We're running some more pick and roll. Jaden Hardy. AC Stevens. Good look for Hardy, but he can't hit it. Jalen Green. For 3, that is a nice shot. Tough to defend that when he can just take it off the dribble and on the move like that. We get a nice look for Lowry, and he's still cold. And Vliet trying to score over Hardy, but a good defensive stop there. Forces a tough look. We get the stop. Now we need to score on the other end. And, oh, we had Johnson, but the pass was inaccurate. And now Fred VanVleet has a wide open shot, but he's no good. Whew. Got lucky there. Under 3 minutes left. 5-point ball game. This one might come down to the end, and Jaden Hardy. Tough miss. And Vliet, all the space in the world, hits the 3. With 2.5 minutes remaining, we need to make a bit of a comeback here. Down by 8 points, and that's a bad pass by Hardy. Get the stop, though, and get it right back. Stevens, the finish and the foul. A lot of this two-man action between Hardy and Stevens. It makes sense because of these 5 starters, these are the 2 that have played by far better than anyone else, especially here in the quarter with, Lowry going cold. Down by 5. Hardy with the ball. Gives it to Stevens. After the pump fake, he makes the shot. There we go. There's a contested make. And Vliet. No good on the 3. Okay. Minute and a half. 1 possession game, and we're just forcing it into Stevens at this rate. Wouldn't mind Hardy's taking a couple more shots here. He's been good this game. And he gets the block on Fred VanVleet. Hardy with it again. Just the pick and roll. Jaden Hardy, AC Stevens. We're going to it every single possession. Been working out for us bit by bit. Rockets getting nothing out of this possession. Just Whitmore forced to take a tough shot. We grab the board. Can we take the lead? And Sidney Lowry draws the foul. 28.8 seconds left. He has done nothing here in the 4th, but he has a chance to give us the lead. Hits the first free throw. We're tied up 91 apiece. Houston hasn't scored in the last 2 minutes, but Lowry can't even go 2 for 2. What is up with these free throws, man? And a steal by Jalen Johnson. We have a chance to win this one right here. Kind of a ghost pick from Stevens. We give it to him and he gets fouled. 7.8 remaining. Stevens needs to make at least one of these. And he does. We have the lead. We were down by 8 with 2.5 left. Now we've got the 1-point lead. Haven't allowed Houston to score since. Make here could force overtime. And he does. The one time we're able to get 2 for 2 is the time we needed it the most. Houston has one more chance. Fred VanVleet, guarded by Hardy. He gets the shot. How? Who's defending? It's Fred VanVleet, bro. He's not that good. He's fine. Hardy for 3, and we're going to overtime. Well, for the sake of brevity, up until the last 2 minutes, I'm only going to show the makes here in this overtime period. So we can not have this episode run too long here. And we got 96-95 now. Fred VanVleet with it. He's going to hit the layup. Get it back to a 3-point lead for Houston. Johnson, high post. Finds a cutting AC Stevens. He, too, for some reason, decides not to dunk it. Maybe his hips extra bothering him now. As we get later in this game, Jalen Green draws the foul on Stevens, who inexplicably was reaching for no good reason. But he missed the first free throw. Second one is good. 99-10-97 in favor of Houston. Lowry to Johnson. He takes a 3 and he finally hits one. We've got the lead. 100-99. VanVleet, though, draws the foul. Nearly made it in and one. It's the first. Up to 25 points on the game. 26 now. VanVleet. A little bit of a step back, and he hits the shots. I guess VanVleet is that dude. Put some more respect on his name. He's been killing us here in the late game and now into overtime. And now in the last 2 minutes, we'll show you every possession here. Wide open Cam Whitmore for the Houston Rockets. Gives them a 2-score lead now. Need to make something happen. Hardy. Decent look, but just too much on it. VanVleet, I mean, what is going on? This dude turns into Steph right now for us, I guess. Keeping it in it. We got 1 minute left. Need to get a stop. Fred VanVleet actually missed a shot. Didn't know it was possible, but it turns out that it is. Need to make something happen there. Whoa, what a pass by Hardy. I thought that was going to get picked off for sure, but Stevens missed it anyway. Going to the fouls. Mondale inside to Fred VanVleet, and we foul again. VanVleet goes 2 for 2. With this timeout, we'll have one more possession. We really need to score here. Lowry Takes the shot and he missed it. I think this game really showed something with Lowry, as we're just going to simulate. I'm not going to watch all these free throws. He's kind of got like not a lot of lift on his shot, and it's kind of a bit of a low point of release. So that really hurts him, I think, in some contested situations, which is what you get in the late game. We saw at some point in the third quarter, he had 15 points on 10 shots. He missed all 10 of his shots in fourth quarter and overtime. He was 6 of 10. I mean, he's a young rookie, so I'm not like saying anything like egregious like about him here, but I think we lost that game because of him. But he's just a rookie, so it's not that big of a deal, honestly. We'd end up simulating until the end of November with this episode, and well, we didn't do a lot of winning since this Rockets game that we watched. In fact, we got one win. We are 3-19. We are just as bad as last year, perhaps somehow even worse. In this 2-point win we got against the Suns with a fourth quarter comeback, Jaden Hardy led us with 25. Lowry poured in 18, 7 and 7, but on 19 shots. His efficiency hasn't been great. Now, there is one more box score that I want to show, and it is what would be the next game here against Dallas. I actually watched this game off camera, and obviously Irving and Doncic were incredible. Tough duo to stop, but Lowry was awesome. AC Stevens, Bruce Brown. Easily our best offensive performance. Unfortunately, I was not recording, but you know, with these sliders, scoring 113 in regulation, I think that's about where we want to be. So we can get that with the sliders where they're at. And as you can see, we did make a couple of changes to the lineup. Thorpe is now the backup center over Booker, and Fisher is now the backup point guard over Livingston. I think both of those moves are warranted. Thorpe started over when AC Stevens was injured, and he was really productive. So I think that earns him the backup center spot, at least for a little bit. And Fisher, I think, played better than I've seen Livingston play in any of the games he's played so far. I think Fisher is gaining steam as being maybe the backup point guard for the rest of the season. And then also backup power forward is Patrick Baldwin until future notice. I think he's just straight up played better than Shelton. And so some changes into what our second unit looks like. Our starting unit stays the same with Lowry, Stevens, Brown, Johnson, and Hardy. It wasn't great scoring in this game in his return to Dallas, but he did have 10 assists, so he was doing a good job setting his teammates up. But this team is not good. Just 3-19. Definitely not where you want to be record-wise. I don't think that needs to be said. I think it's fairly obvious. So the last thing we're going to do here is I just want to take a look now that we're about a month and a half into the season. Let's take a look at how all of our players are doing. And Jaden Hardy was leading us in scoring for a while, but he's actually on a bit of a cold streak. His field goal percentage is down to 40%. He was around 43, scoring about 17 points per game. But these last couple of weeks have been harsh on him, whereas it's been the opposite for Lowry. He was shooting, the last time I checked this, like 37% and scoring just under 15 points per game. So he's starting to pick things up, which is good. Rebounds and assists are actually going down though, but he's shooting better. His three-point percentage has gone up a lot over this recent slate of games. AC Stevens scoring 15, 7.5, and 1.5 stocks a game is good, shooting 62% from the field. He's definitely been an upgrade over what we had at center last year. And like I said, Cedric Thorpe has been pretty productive as well when he started to play, so he's going to take over that spot for a while now. In terms of who's not putting the ball in the basket very efficiently, Livingston, he was awful. These two, the guys that we benched, both shooting 35% or under. That's just not going to cut it. Bruce Brown and Jalen Johnson are struggling a bit as well. Neither of them are eclipsing that 40% mark. And then, of course, Hardy and Lowry just barely over it. So a lot of our starting lineup here, this is 4 of our starters are just like at or around 40%, which is very rough. And then, of course, all the way at the very top, we have Stevens as our last starter. So this team still has a very, very far way to go. I think that is needless to say. So projecting to have another really high draft pick come this next draft. Of course, still a long way to go in this season. Not going to rush this season at all. Despite all the losses, I'm still very invested in this team and trying to see who can become, somebody that can be a real-time player for us in the future. But in terms of this episode, that is all I've got. So I'll be back soon with another, and I will see you then.